Hello, in this video I'm going to try to help the two types of the finals players when it comes to the blast off limited time mode. The one that complains on Reddit about getting absolutely stomped every round, and the other type who enjoys the mode but would not mind understanding every single thing about it to perform better and maybe get immortalized on a trophy in the training range. Because yes, this mode has a leaderboard, and yes, this mode has weird hidden rules and mechanics you might not fully understand yet, so let me tell you all about them to help you perform better and have more fun. Before I even start with the actual advice, let's address the number one complaint. The pixelated effect makes some people sick, it hurts their eyes or whatever, so you can now disable it by going into settings, video, and disabling lens distortion. Oh, and thank you so much for being so many to subscribe to this YouTube channel, your support means a lot. Alright, let's start with the primary weapon, the CL-40, because it's not its usual self. It fires projectiles in a straight line without any drop and deals more damage, kind of like an RPG. It kills enemies in 2 direct hits, and it breaks surfaces in 1 or 2 shots. Self-damage is disabled in Blast Off, so you can explode enemies that are on top of you with no risk whatsoever, and it's even a valid strategy since that's where you have the lowest chance of missing your shots, of course. The explosion radius is bigger than in regular modes, which allows you to hit people that are standing near an APS turret by simply shooting right outside the protection radius. And the CL-40 also has 10 shots in this mode, so try to never run out by reloading a few ones as soon as you have an opportunity to do so, like when you wipe the enemy team for example, and try to never fire the 10th shot, as reloading an empty CL-40 triggers a much longer animation than reloading it with 1 shot left. Now in Blast Off, the RPG kills enemy players in a single shot if it directly hits them. Because of this, if an enemy has half their HP or less, it's better to kill them with the CL-40, and keep your RPG for a healthier target. You should also always try to fire your RPG before you die, as it has a long cooldown that is reset upon respawning. And yes, it does leave enemies at 1 HP sometimes, despite hitting them directly, but that's just a bug, I guess. Now, my favorite thing to do is to dash onto a jump pad right after respawning, take my RPG out while spinning a dozen times or so, and then fire it at an enemy. It works sometimes, and you could get some pretty cool trick shots. Something very important about the RPG and the CL-40 is that aiming down sights is useless. The two weapons are 100% accurate in this mode, so the projectile will always go where your crosshair is. When you are aiming down sights, you are making the crosshair disappear on the RPG, which makes it harder to actually aim. Note that the CL-40 and the RPG shots explode on the blue map borders, so you have to stay away from them as much as possible, just like you want to stay away from the ground and the walls. Otherwise, people who miss you will still hit you with the splash damage anyways. Another thing is that the CL-40 and RPG projectiles from opposing teams can collide, which sometimes make it look like you hit an enemy player, but you dealt no or little damage. Now let's talk about dash, because despite being a medium contestant, you can dash around like the light players you despise, and in doing so you might just understand why they chose the path of evil. It's just so fun! The specialization has reduced cooldown and also allows you to jump one more time after using it, meaning you can literally fly forever thanks to the constant low gravity event. Remember to jump after every dash in order to make your trajectory less predictable. Basically, always try to stay away from walls, the ground and map borders as much as possible, so you cannot be damaged without a direct hit, which is way harder to pull off than splash damage, of course. The APS turret too is different in this mode. Despite having a lower cooldown time, it can only block 2 projectiles, so basically always use it if you end up grounded, as that's when you are the easiest target to hit. Use the short time during which your turret is protecting you to reload your RPG or your CL-40, or even to turn around and shoot the player chasing you. You are basically invincible for the next second or so try to be the one who survives. And let's talk about the APS's best friend, the jump pad. It's extremely straightforward, but for the first time in the finals history, you can both place it yourself and dash on it yourself, meaning you can create one of the most basic, most satisfying move tech in the game all by yourself. First, place a jump pad and then dash onto it right away for a quick getaway or to chase a fleeting target. The way I use it most of the time is when I am getting shot at while descending. I will pull out my APS and place it first for protection, then place my jump pad, and as soon as the APS breaks, I dash into the jump pad to get away. Now that we talked about the entire loadout, let's talk about some general tips, tricks and advice I have on the game mode. First, if you don't like the order your gadgets are in, you can change it before the round starts or even while you are dead. It's a bit bugged, but you will get the hang of it. Once you die, after the death timer is over, the game spawns you automatically, so stop mashing your respawn button. Instead, simply hold your forward key and be ready to dash on the nearest jump pad as soon as you are back in the arena. Because if you spam your respawn button, which is the same button as jump, you might jump as soon as you respawn and accidentally jump over or on top of the jump pad, which will not allow you to go as far or as fast as you want to be. In every other mode, enemies need to damage you first in order to see your name and HP for a few seconds. In Blast Off, as long as you are in an enemy's field of view and vice versa, they will see your name and HP bar, so you are extremely visible. Quick melee is enabled and deals damage, so you can kill an enemy with it if you really have no other option or if you want to style on them. I got a few clips like that. Canisters and canister balloons still spawn on this modified version of Burnal, so you can get creative. As usual, the random goo canisters can be helpful in a pinch and even be used to flex, like in this clip where I punch it to make goo appear and block the enemy's RPG shot before killing them. Cinema absolu. Dying to your own team's fire or gas is considered a suicide and gives the enemy team 25 points, just like in TDM, so they basically get a 1 kill lead because you made a mistake, so try not to do that. Fun fact, you can disable low gravity in the private game settings in Blast Off, so you still have boosted jump height, but it's pretty lame in comparison with the actual low gravity rule. It looks funny though. This video was supposed to release a week ago, but my PC decided to randomly die 2 days after I left my job to pursue content creation, so here we are. I hope you will still get value out of this video, and thank you all so much for the support and the love you sent my way recently. Shoutouts to my channel members and special shoutout to TJ and Megaloo for being tier 3 members. On that note, I will see you at the finals.